Yesterday, I was really sad, thinking about how tired I am and this and that, and why do I keep seeing all these signs? I'm sick of seeing signs. I'm sick of hearing words. I'm sick of these visions. I want things to come to pass. I was real upset. I really have not been that upset and that sad in a very long time. And in the midst of that, the past week or so, I keep on having all of these flashbacks to these very hurtful, depressing, traumatizing times in my life. Traumatizing, torturous, horrific. I would keep envisioning different ERs I used to go to all the time. Flashbacks to different situations and scenarios in past relationships that was very heartbreaking. Flashbacks to different things that people have said to me, lies, rumors that they spreaded about me, how it made me feel. Thinking about how I used to just get in the car and drive around crying, upset, distraught, just devastated. I kept envisioning myself in the bonnets and the sunglasses and the t-shirts, and I was just like, why do I keep thinking back on these times? I don't want, it took almost 2 years for me to even begin to start processing what it was that I was going through, what it was that I had been through. But yeah, I just kept thinking of all these different moments in my life and how hurt I felt. And as I would envision some of these things, as I would have these flashbacks, I felt the same shame. I felt the same disgust. I felt the same heartache. My heart felt sick. And then because I was feeling so disappointed and upset and confused in the present, it was easier for those flashbacks, those different things that I was envisioning, to trigger that response, to trigger that shame, trigger that guilt, trigger that anger, trigger that disappointment. By the evening yesterday, I was back praising, I was back happy, and even in the midst of me feeling sad earlier yesterday, it's like my heart and my mind was feeling what I felt, but my spirit was doing backflips, somersaults, excited, to the point I was like, this feels so conflicting and strange. How I could feel so much excitement, unexplained peace, but at the same time be emotionally hurting in a way that I have not hurt in a very long time. And next thing you know, by the evening, by last night, I was back praising. I was back around the house singing and being silly, doing what I do. And people are looking at me like, I just saw you crying. You was like, boo-hoo crying. What's wrong with you? I got in the car last night / early this morning, and I was just driving, listening to worship music. And yet, even in the midst of me worshiping, I'm still having these flashbacks. I'm still envisioning these different times and points in my life. I thought about this particular time when I was in my garage one day and I was praying and praising back in 2020. And soon as I thought of that, I realized why it was that I had been envisioning these things and having these flashbacks. Because during that time, all of a sudden, I started having these same different types of flashbacks. And that day, the day that I was in my garage praising, I asked God in the garage, why do I keep thinking about this stuff? I don't want to be thinking about it. And I was like, is it because I'm holding unforgiveness in my heart? What is it? And so God said to me, I want you to mourn. I want you to grieve that girl. And by that, he meant, I want you to grieve the former life you used to have. I want you to cry for that girl. I want you to hurt for that girl. I want you to feel her pain. I want you to hold her sorrow. I want you to hold her upset in memory of her. So I did that. I cried out to God for that girl. I just cried for what she had been through. I cried all the tears that she tried to hold in. I cried all the tears that she held in front of other people when she wanted to just break down, when nobody knew how hard she was struggling, how hard she was fighting just to appear sane. As I'm crying, as I'm praising, as I'm thanking God, I started feeling his spirit stronger and stronger. And he's talking, ministering to me, comforting me. Then out of nowhere, he said to me, "Welcome to the realm of my promise." The way he said it was just so like theatrical. I want to say extra. But he felt that. It was almost like MTV Cribs or something, like when the camera crew knocks on their door and they open up the door and they have this like weird, cringy intro. But this is God, like it hit different. It felt, I felt, I don't even know how to put it into words. But he was just like, "Welcome to the realm of my promise." I told a couple of people that I have a YouTube channel in my personal life. And of course, they were like, "Oh, what's your YouTube channel name? I'm going to go look your videos up." And I would say, "The Realm of His Promise." And they're like, "What? Like, what is that? Where'd that come from? The Realm of His Promise." That's where it came from. I went into that garage one person and I came out somebody else. I was not the same. My life has not been the same since God said that to me. Fast forward, I'm thinking about this last night and I say, "Oh, that's why I've been having these flashbacks." And I said to myself, the last time I was having these flashbacks, the last time I was envisioning these things, right after my life changed and it was never the same again. All day yesterday, there was such a calming spirit over me, a comforting spirit over me. Like I mentioned, on one end, I was very distraught. But on the other end, I was excited, happy, like more than expecting and hopeful for what's to come. No, excited, elated. There was such a heavy shift in my spirit. The air didn't feel the same. Hearing the fan blowing didn't sound the same. I was laying down and I was listening to a worship song and I wasn't even sleepy at all. Next thing you know, I had fell asleep. Like God tucked me in. I was asleep and I woke up like, wow. Like when I say such a heavy comforting spirit was on me, I don't have to question if it's time. It was one day I was thinking back on my life and I was just thanking God for everything that he brought me through, type of thing. And he said to me, "I want you to remember. I want you to think back on the most hurtful times, the most hurtful memories." And he said, "Don't forget." My wisdom teeth have been acting up, okay? Come out of my mouth today. Making my head hurt so bad. I'm taking Tylenol, this, that. And usually, it had been working. The past week or so, those Tylenols was like Skittles. And I'm just laid in the bed, like, ooh, jaws hurting. I'm like, dang. Then right now, there's like this knot in the back of my neck. Very painful. Something that's so painful that it itch. It's like a deep itch. And I'm just like, why is that hurting like that? What did I do? But even with that, even with the headaches, that is God reminding me. He can't take me back, but he can definitely bring forth a reminder. And I just thought, wow, that one spot is this problematic or this agitating, this annoying. And that used to be my entire body, head to toe. That horrible wisdom tooth headache used to be a lot worse than that, 24/7. I realized last night God has once again created a makeshift wilderness, a little wilderness appetizer to remind me. It's some people that's going to watch this video and you're going to recognize that God has been doing some things to remind you. There are some people that's been coming back in your life, and as soon as you saw their name pop up, soon as you saw their number pop up, it reminded you of some old pain. It was a trigger response. It's some people you found yourself thinking of some dead situations, dead circumstances, and you can't seem to shake it and you don't understand why. God wants you to remember. He wants you to have a final taste, because these enemies that you see, you will not see them any longer. I have not watched that many videos here recently, but time and time again, I keep hearing that same thing. These enemies you see, you will see no longer. You better get a good look at me, devil. You better take a picture. You better cherish this moment. Because these problems, these annoyances, these things that have troubled me, these things that have disturbed me, troubled you, disturbed you, robbed you of your peace, your joy, your happiness, robbed you of your smile, you will see them no more. Another thing that I realized, something that is just so beautiful. When I was neck deep in my affliction, in turmoil, not knowing where I was going, not knowing what was going on, not hearing God say nothing about nothing, I used to have these random times where I would just start laughing. I would be so frustrated and upset with the pain. I would just start laughing and I would say, you know what? Ain't no way I'm going through all of this for no reason. It's just no way. I didn't know nothing about nothing. God had never spoken nothing about no promise, no nothing. And I would just say, there is no way that I'm going through what I'm going through for no reason. And that mere thought will be my only pinch of hope, my only pinch of faith, my only pinch of expectation. Literally smaller than a grain of salt. You needed a microscope to see it. But I held on to that belief. It's just no way. I don't know what my life is going to look like. I would say all the time to myself, it's no way that I am going through what I'm going through just to live a mediocre life, a lackluster life, going to work, coming home, taking care of my kids, feeding them, cooking, waking up in the morning, going back to work. I said, no, it gotta be something else to this. It's that same expectation, that same hope amplified in my spirit in this moment. That tiny grain of salt is exploding in my spirit, exploding in my soul. My heart feels like it is going to burst. So many of us spent so many years living in the dark, living uncomfortably, living confused, not understanding what was going on. Why am I struggling like this? Why am I toiling like this? God, I've been trying to listen to you. I've been trying to live the right thing. Even when you were in the world, you were still trying to do the right thing. You still had a good heart. You still were trying to strive to be the best you could be. But yet everything continuously fell apart. Nothing is more frustrating than trying to do the right thing, being committed to doing the right thing and seeing absolutely no result. Imagine waking up every day, going to work. You've been working for 12 years, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 35 years, and you ain't got one paycheck yet. So many of us were like, where is my blessings? Where are they? I told one of my sisters this, and I didn't even know what I was saying. That was nothing but God speaking that. I said, "Oh God, that was good." I don't even know where that came from. That was you, none of me. All you. If I'ma brag on the Lord. God said, you have been so exceptional. You have went well past the mark. You have exceeded all expectations. You have went a step and beyond for so long. Your stride has not broken for so long. You moved in utter perfection in the eyes of the Lord for so long. Your blessings never even had time to catch up with you. Some of us were supposed to spend 5 years in a season, and we graduated in 5 days. There were blessings God had in the midst of those 5 years, but because of our overachievement, we didn't get to see them. But God is making you sit in this new season. A lot of us have been wondering what has been taking so long for me to cross over, because you have to sit in this new season. God is making you have to sit in this new season. You're not even waiting on God at this point. You're waiting on your blessings to catch up with you. Your overachievement got God out of his seat. Made God have to get to work. You kept wondering why it kept seeming like the plans kept changing. I thought we was doing this, now we're not. Now it's something else, then that didn't work, and now you're telling me we're doing it a different way. Why is that? Because your overachievement put God to work. And just like I said in my last video, God is an eager laborer, ready to get to work, ready to put the pedal to the metal, ready to get his hands dirty. I know so many people by now, especially if this video is for you, have heard, yes indeed, it won't be long now. Things are going to happen so fast, your head will swim. One thing fast on the heels of the other. You won't be able to keep up. Everything will happen at once. And everywhere you look, blessings. Blessings like wine pouring off the mountains and hills. I'll make everything right again for my people Israel. If you're wondering why everything is going to happen at one time, if you want, and I just keep on hearing boom, boom, kaboom, kaboom. If you're wondering why you keep hearing that, if you're wondering why everybody keeps saying that, it's because you have went a step in behind. Not only does he have to bless you for all of the seasons that you didn't receive those blessings, But now he wants to bless you because you chose to overachieve. Not doing it for the fame, not doing it for the money, but doing it to please him. If you're wondering why you're so excited all of a sudden, if you're wondering why it seems like your mind is stuck in the past all of a sudden, it's because your life changes right after this.